Here we are for Chapter 9 of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Chapter 9 is called Grandpa Joe Takes a Gamble. When you take a gamble, that means that you're doing something risky. So let's see what risky thing Grandpa Joe is going to get into. Seems like he hasn't left his bed in a long time, so I don't know what he could get in that's so risky. Here we go. The next day, when Charlie came home from school and went in to see his grandparents, he found that only Grandpa Joe was awake. The other three were all snoring loudly. "Shh," whispered Grandpa Joe, and he beckoned Charlie to come closer. Charlie tiptoed over and stood beside the bed. The old man gave Charlie a sly grin, and then he started rummaging under his pillow with one hand, and when the hand came out again, there was an ancient leather purse clutched in the fingers. Under cover of the bedclothes, the old man opened the purse and tipped it upside down. Out fell a single silver 10-cent piece. "It's my second hoard," he whispered. "The others don't know I've got it. And now you and I are going to have one more fling at finding that last ticket. How about it, eh? You'll have to help me." So he's not going to get out of bed. He's just making Charlie go and buy another chocolate bar. Whew. "Of course I'm sure," spluttered the old man. "Don't stand there arguing. I'm just as crazy as you are to find that ticket. Here, take the money and run down to the street to the nearest store and buy the first Wonka candy bar you see and bring it straight back to me, and we'll open it together." Charlie took the little silver coin and slipped it quickly out of the room. In 5 minutes, he was back. "Have you got it?" whispered Grandpa Joe, his eyes shining with excitement. Charlie nodded and he held out the bar of candy. "Wonka's Nutty Crunch Surprise," it said on the wrapper. "Good," the old man whispered, sitting up in the bed and rubbing his hands. "Now come over here and sit close to me, and we'll open it together. Are you ready?" "Do you think they're going to find it?" "Yes," Charlie said. "I'm ready." "All right, you tear off the first bit." "No," Charlie said. "You paid for it. You do it all." The old man's fingers were trembling most terribly as they fumbled with the candy bar. "We don't have a hope, really," he whispered, giggling a bit. "You do know we don't have a hope, don't you?" "Yes," Charlie said. "I know that." They looked at each other and both started giggling nervously. "Mind you," said Grandpa Joe, "there is just that tiny chance that it might be the one. Don't you agree?" "Yes," Charlie said. "Of course. Why don't you open it, Grandpa?" "All in good time, my boy, all in good time. Which end do you think I ought to open first?" "That corner, the one furthest from you. Just tear off a tiny bit, but not quite enough for us to see anything." "Like that?" said the old man. "Yes, now a little bit more." "You finish it," said Grandpa Joe. "I'm too nervous." "No, Grandpa, you must do it yourself." "Very well, then. Here goes." He tore off the wrapper. They both stared at what lay underneath. It was a bar of candy. Nothing more. All at once they both saw the funny side of the whole thing, and they burst into peals of laughter. "What the heck's going on?" cried Grandma Josephine, waking up suddenly. "Nothing," said Grandpa Joe. "You go on back to sleep." So no luck finding the golden ticket with the second candy bar that Grandpa Joe saved money for and gave to Charlie. But they had a good time doing it. Kind of shared a nice moment together. So let's see, Chapter 10. The family begins to starve. Oh boy. We'll have to read and find out tomorrow what happens there. Something I'm thinking about, we know that Charlie ends up with the golden ticket because we see it on the cover, him with the ticket on the cover, and he goes to the factory. But they keep trying and trying, so I wonder how he's really going to get the ticket. We'll have to read on to find out. I'm super excited to keep reading. I can't wait to read Chapter 10 tomorrow. All right, bye guys.